Well, and you have done everything in broadcasting. Literally, you've interviewed everyone, all sorts of genres. So what attracts you to return to live breakfast telly? Because it's stressful, Anne. It's stressful. And also not good sleeping hours either.
I know, and apparently it involves getting up at 3 a.m. Yeah. Oh, goodness, why didn't I remember that? I can't imagine why I said yes, but I tell you why. It's because it's a new channel. And it's interesting you say you've been on air 6 months, and it's not exactly been easy. It's been turbulent. My goodness, that's what it was like in 1983 when we launched TVAM. Very turbulent. It's so funny that watching Dame Esther Ranson a minute ago, she was in TVAM before it even got off the ground. And then, quite wisely, she left actually before it sort of set off. And Ingrid Tarrant was one of the originals as well. And it was lovely to see them both. So, yeah, we had a rocky start at TVAM, but we pulled through in the end and became the most successful TV station in Britain at the time. And so all I can say is it's exciting to be part of something that's new, that's breaking new ground, that's got a new voice, because I think probably a new voice is needed in British television and radio at the moment. And so how can it not be exciting? And so when they said, look, come on, can you get up early at 3 o'clock or something and get into London and in the dark and do this programme, I thought, why not? Because Stephen is such a great mate of mine. We've known each other for a very long time. We get on extremely well. And we have very similar tastes in things. I'll tell you more about that later. But, and then they said, it's only for 8 weeks. And I thought, OK, I can do it for 8 weeks, I think, still.
Oh, I think it's going to be for longer than 8 weeks, Anne. We'll get you in and then you'll never want to leave. But look, you've obviously done so much over the past few years. Your Cot Death campaign has, of course, been a life-defining project. But you have never walked away from news. I mean, I've worked with you when you have been filling in on the Jeremy Vine show. So it's in your blood, isn't it, news? You love it.
Yes, I'm an old school journalist from that point of view. I've been a journalist for an extremely long time. And I've been brought up never to give your own opinion, but to you are the conduit for other people's opinions and views. And my job as an interviewer is to make them, allow them enable them to be a star. And that's what I'm used to. And I think breakfast television is very well suited to that. You have to be a good journalist. You have to be able to ask the important, incisive questions. But in breakfast, you do it in a much friendlier, cosier fashion. You can still have a knife edge, or they used to call me a diamond sharp edge. But you do it in a much friendlier fashion with a cup of tea in your hand, usually.
That is true. That is true. What are the stories that you're most interested in covering at the moment, Anne? Because, of course, it is a turbulent time for this country.
Yeah, I know. And I do think that there is, whilst the pandemic has been so terrible and continues to be such a problem for society as a whole, on the globe as a whole, I think you also have to think of some of the positives. And I think it would be nice to reach out and tell people that there is a good side to what is happening to us. It has brought communities together. It's brought people together. It's enabled people to find strengths in themselves they never thought they had. More people are volunteering now than ever before, because it's brought back this sense of wanting to help others. And do you know, it's been very, very good for hedgehogs.
How?
There you are. How? Because roadkill has gone down by 50% since we haven't been driving around so much. Can you believe it?
Oh, my goodness, I had no idea. Well, good for hedgehogs, not good for human beings, but all right, we'll take that.
No.
And look, I think one of the things that is best about working at GB News is our family of viewers, because there's a lot of people who feel like they haven't had a voice in the mainstream broadcast media for some time. Do you get a sense of that?
I know what you mean, but I think that I just think what you're doing is giving people a bit more airtime. I mean, a lot of what you're doing on GB News is enabling people to ring in with their views, rather like a lot of radio stations do. So you are enabling their voices to be heard. And that's very, very important. And, I think it's true that, and I think you probably agree with me, coming so much from the world of newspapers as you do, that journalism has gotten a bit lazy, and I think it needs a kick up the backside. And if that's what GB News wants to do to the whole journalistic community, then why not? By allowing people to have their voice, by saying to the bigger world that everybody has a right to free speech, and we all guard that very honestly. So as long as that's what GB News does, I think it's going to be very refreshing and breath of fresh air. That's what new programmes and new TV channels are all about, surely.
I couldn't agree more. That is a perfect mission statement. So, Anne, when is your first day? When are you and Stephen together on the telly?
It's something like the weekend of the 7th and 8th, if I've got the dates right. Because Eamon's on the 4th, isn't he? And then
Eamon's on the 4th, yeah. I'm back on the 3rd.
The first weekend, yeah.
Eamon's on the 4th, so that's a Tuesday, 5th, 6th, so 7th or 8th.
4th,
okay.
5th, 6th, 7th.
Excellent.
Yeah, so it'll be the 8th and 9th, I think.
Excellent.
I
I cannot wait.